Up North Radio, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Time for Curries Corner with Pat Curry.
Hey, Jen, what about me?
And you too, Pete Kent. Brought to you by Big Rapids Pennzoil and Auto Repair, Seth Winger at the Winger Insurance Agency, Gilbert's Carpets Plus Color Tile, Barrington Firearms and Training Center, DW2 Drywall, and Michigan Landscape and Excavate.
There's a man named Pat Curry, he's got a passion for the news. Brings the stories of Big Rapids and across the county to you. Every Tuesday morning, you know just where to go. Tune in to B1039, he's got the scoop, don't you know? Welcome to Curries Corner. With Pete Kent by his side, they'll keep you informed and entertained. Taking you on a ride from the latest happenings to the heart of the community.
Oh man, we're gonna cut off the intro because we're running so far behind.
Well, yeah, we are.
Yeah,
we got a big show
hey,
today.
It was all Pat's fault, too.
Minus 14
Hey, what's
degrees.
up, Big Rapids? We got a lot of stuff
Minus
going on.
14 degrees. You know, everybody's frozen up this
I
morning.
had 16 below this morning.
I had it 9 in my car just now as you were driving.
Beautiful.
Well,
Michigan winter.
We'll get started right after one thing, though. I want everybody to say a prayer for Marv Snavely. He's on his last leg. He's just a great guy, almost 90 years old, and his sons Mark and Brad are with him right now, and he's ready. He's ready to go to the other side. So, I mean, throw the hate out the window, love one another.
I would like to have you say a prayer for Rick Johnston. He had ankle surgery, and it's very painful. And then Spud, Dan Spadowski, knee surgery Thursday, and pain's about a 6 or 7 as of last night. So a little prayers for our buddies, and I wanted to say hi to my favorite person, Jeannie. I'm back, and how are you? And then I want to say hi to the guys from FedEx, all my boys coming down from Cadillac. And, it's really exciting. It's really exciting to have Brian Vogel here today with us. He's going to talk to us about it's your show.
Well, I was over to Lakeview this past weekend. It was just kind of ironic that I was there for a basketball tournament, the grandkids there, and Lakeview hosted it, and it was a great little town to go to. Afterwards, we went to McGinnis, and it's McKenna, right?
McKenna's.
Restaurant downtown Lakeview, and man, I had a hot beef sandwich, and it was delicious. Everybody around the table said everything that they had was really good. They had a pretty good crowd in there. I got to talk to the owner there. I think his name's Mark.
Greg.
Craig.
You're really good with names,
Greg.
Curry. You're really good with names.
Well, I am if I meet him more than once. But anyway, it's a real nice restaurant. Get over to Lakeview, make sure you stop in there. Good food, homemade food. They have a nice bar there if you like beer or liquor or whatever, wine. But anyway, I talked about you, Brian. Asked him if he knew you. He goes, he sure did. He goes, man, you've been a great guy over there trying to promote this. Not trying, you are promoting this fishing tournament, World Fishing Tournament coming up. They had the Michigan Fishing Tournament last week. I'll let you take it from there, Brian.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having me on again. This past weekend was the U.S. men's team qualifying heats. So they're going to have a press release this afternoon that will tell everybody who the composition of the U.S. men's team is that will compete in 3 weeks at the World Ice Fishing Championship, and it's held in Lakeview, Michigan on Tamarack Lake. It was a lot of fun this weekend. They fished 2 heats on Friday, 2 heats on Saturday, and 1 heat Sunday morning. And then this is the first year that they're doing catch and release fishing. So every fish they catch, they put right back in the lake. And I didn't get an exact count, but my estimation is they caught somewhere over 10,000 fish. Wow. Yeah.
How many people were there, Brian?
They have 18 fishermen were trying out for the team. And like I said, the press release will come out this afternoon. They'll have a 6-man roster, plus the support staff.
How many spectators were there? Like Pat Curry, I know was there.
There was a handful of locals that came out to watch. People would come and go. Friday was real nice. It was 40 degrees. So there was a few people out there. And then as the weekend went on, it got colder and colder. So by Sunday morning, I think I was the only spectator out there.
Really?
Yeah.
Cold, yeah.
It was pretty chilly.
That's a nice town.
It's a nice little town. Yeah,
it is. Yep. I think the businesses are really appreciating it. They had something going on with snowmobile meeting there that afternoon too. So somebody's over there promoting things over there.
There's just north and east of town, a couple of miles, they have a snowmobile racetrack. So they had a big competition out there. There was, I don't know how many, 100 snowmobiles, and all those people. Yeah, and they had some motorcycle racing on the lake over the weekend. Yeah, it was nice.
So when is it again? February what? What weekend?
It's the second weekend, February 15th and 16th.
So is it a 2-day deal, huh?
Yeah. So
is it Friday, Saturday,
the teams will start arriving early in that week, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is what they call practice for the different teams. There are 10 countries represented from around the world, and each team has 10 to 12 fishermen. And then their spotters and their support staff. So just between the ice fishing teams, there's probably going to be 250 to 300 people, and then spectators. And keep in mind, this is a world championship. Last year they were in Mongolia. This year they're in the U.S. and right here in mid-Michigan.
It'd be like Super Bowl of ice fishing, right?
Yeah. Very good, Pete. That's very good.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Brian, are you going to be there tomorrow? Tomorrow. Are you going to be, you know where I'm talking about?
Undetermined yet, Pete.
Okay, Brian. Thank you.
Yeah.
So the thing, I guess you want to catch the most fish.
It's total weight.
The weight.
It doesn't matter the number of fish.
In there?
They're not fishing for game fish, panfish only.
Okay.
If they get a pike or a bass on, they'll get it off right away, and mostly bluegill, and that lake has a good batch of crappie in it too, so they're catching some nice crappie.
Of course, now you said they caught like 10,000 fish. There'd be a lot of fishermen out there listening today saying, "Oh, we're going over to Tamarack right there."
Yeah.
Lakeview.
Oh yeah,
sure. So you can park right there by the lake too. The city made a nice parking lot right behind McGinnis.
Right. Yep.
And there's plenty of parking, isn't there?
And then just down the road a bit, the city park.
Yeah.
Yep. Where there's a lot of parking there.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's catch and release. This is the first year they've done that, and they would bring the fish in buckets, and they weigh them out, and then put them right back. They had a hole in the ice right near the weighing tent, and they would put them right back in the water. And I'll say that by Sunday morning, and I watched them dump all these fish back in, I think every single fish survived. I don't think they killed a single one.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
It's amazing. Yeah. It really is.
Yeah. Well, Pat, you know what? I know Brian wants to keep talking about this. I did want to say a couple of words about the school.
If you didn't, we would be upset with you.
Okay. We had our school board meeting last Monday night. But you know something? I am so proud of this community to support our bond issue. And about 9 or 10 years ago, they supported it. Overwhelming, by the way, Pat. And we did all 2 elementary schools. We added on 3 classrooms. We did the middle school. We did new roofing and HVAC through all our system. And we just opened up Hillcrest. And the ISD is going to take Hillcrest. We completely remodeled that and did that. And we have a new principal at Brookside. And I think he is doing a great job. He took over from Karen Schaefer.
Where's Karen going?
Karen's retiring.
She is? She's only 30.
Yeah, she's a little older than that. She's like 50-something. I hate to tell you. But then we have the high school. We have...
who's your new principal at Brookside?
Ken Langell. And he came from Everett, and then he started teaching at the middle school. And, we have, like in football, we have the next person step up. Oh. And Deb Tyson and her gang kind of pick really, really good educators, administrators, and teachers, and everybody. But then I went over to the bus barns, Pat, and we've got 2 new buses coming. Good. We bought 2 vans, a plow truck. And, for what you people did on our not you people, our citizens of Big Rapids, we built a football stadium. It was an all-purpose stadium. And Pat Curry was very instrumental in helping on this. And it's probably one of the most beautiful stadiums, Pat. You agree with it? It's the most beautiful stadium in around this whole area.
Well, I think in McCosk County it definitely is.
And well, I think it's one of the best in Western Michigan.
Okay.
And I think we add on an auxiliary gym, which we needed very badly for the youngsters coming up, the kids, because we're full. And we've had a lot of band concerts at high school. Yeah, a lot of band concerts. And we redid the stage inside completely and sound systems and HVAC throughout the whole schools. But, I just want to thank, we might have a sinking fund coming up for vote, maybe sometime in June. And it's just an extension. It's not going to raise anybody's taxes, but, we thank Big Rapids. If we didn't have, we have over 2,000 students in our system. And, a virtual school. And we have St. Mary's, which does an excellent job, and St. Peter's, and we have Crossroads. But I just want to thank everybody in this area that voted for our bond, $24.9 million. And I heard a couple of schools up north are asking for $75 million. So we did a lot with what we had, and thank you. Thank you, Pat.
You done blowing?
I'm done blowing, yeah.
You're done blowing? All right, Bob.
Now
good
you
to
can
see
blow
you
a
back.
little
I'm
bit.
glad to have you back. Jen did okay, but not like Bob.
She didn't do what Bob does.
right.
She's a great.
Bob's a man.
No,
Bob's a man.
No,
we
you get
can't.
things working better.
Jen does it best of everybody, and if you
Says who?
say any,
Says
Jen,
who?
Jen, and she's the owner. So.
I take
Anything
a
else?
vote.
You want
I say
anything
Bob
else on
does the
that?
best.
On the fishing tournament.
No, I think I've covered it. Just remember, it's 3 weeks. They'll be in town Wednesday, Thursday, Friday doing their practice fishing, and then Saturday and Sunday is the competition. 2 heats on Saturday, 2 heats on Sunday, and then they'll have the gold, silver, and bronze medals figured out by Sunday evening that weekend.
Yeah, where's that at? Down Grand Rapids in the reward?
The
awards?
actual awards ceremony will be down in Grand Rapids, yeah. The teams are flying in. There's the host city is Grand Rapids. The host venue is Lakeview, Tamarack Lake.
Boy, that's amazing, isn't it? People don't realize how lucky we are to have all those people coming up here and seeing the great state of Michigan, let alone Lakeview, Michigan. Right off 131, it's 14 miles east on 46. Not very far at all from Big Rapids. You can go crossroads to it, or you can go down the highway to 46. It's a nice little town. Like I say, go to the restaurant there, and they got a health food store there. It's a very nice town. Very nice town.
You can also go down 5 Mile Road and catch 100, and
They
it'll
got
take you in the back
Chaps.
way.
Yeah, they got Chaps there too.
Oh yeah, Chaps is a great place,
Good place
to
to eat.
stay. Yeah, great
yeah.
place.
Couple gas stations. They also have a McDonald's for people like Bill Shively. Like,
Oh, yeah.
he
Bill likes the
pancakes
McDonald's,
and
yeah.
sausage at McDonald's.
How about at Curry's? We have pancakes now. At
Yeah, we
Curry's.
have pancakes there now. Yeah.
They don't realize we probably have the best breakfast. Now I say we. You have the best breakfast around.
No, you're part of it. You're a big
and
supporter
bacon
there.
and eggs, ham and eggs, all kinds of burritos.
You like that toast?
I like the toast. The best toast I've ever had in my life, I'm telling you, with that raspberry Smucker's jam on it.
Yeah, you like that.
I
All
do.
right, well, we're going to take a break. We'll go into our next section of the talk show here, What's Up Big Rapids at Curries Corner, and we want to thank our sponsors at this time, baby?
Yeah.
And then we'll come right back.
coming
Thanks,
back.
Brian, for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, everybody. Thank you.
bet. Good luck.
Pennzoil in Big Rapids is your quick-stop shop for oil changes and so much more. With certified techs and 35 years experience, they'll have you in and out in a flash, and a free car wash with every service. And don't forget about tires. As quickly as the seasons change in Michigan, it's easy to lose your grip. Luckily, Pennzoil in Big Rapids has the tires you need to dominate all seasons in Michigan. Big tires, fast tires, grippy tires, sleek tires. Go see Zach Wells at Big Rapids Pennzoil today. He'll get you back on the road and ready to roll. That's Big Rapids Pennzoil, located at 710 North State Street, or give them a call at 231-796-4730.
Gilbert's Carpets Plus, color time. Stop and shop with us for a while.
This is Amy.
And this is Corinne
From Gilbert's Carpets Plus Color Tile. Upgrade your windows and save on energy costs at Gilbert's Carpets Plus. We have an offer you won't want to miss. From now to January 31st, get your first 3 windows installed free with any purchase of Draper, Hunter Douglas, or Graber custom shades.
Whether you're looking for energy-efficient designs or simply a stylish upgrade, our custom shades will help you save on heating and cooling costs all year long. And with our expert installation, your new windows will fit perfectly and look amazing.
Don't wait. This special offer ends January 31st. Visit Gilbert's Carpets Plus at 14150 Northland Drive in Big Rapids or call 231-796-2700 to get started today and get your first 3 windows installed free.
Gilbert's Carpets Plus, where beauty, comfort, and savings come together.
Gilbert's Carpets Plus, color time. Stop and shop with us for a while. Gilbert's is there for you.
Dale I've known for many, many years, and I tell you what, when somebody needs some help, he's there. Just like your typical Mecosta County resident, Dale Whaley is a good American. So if you're ever looking for a drywaller for free estimate, call Dale. I'm telling you, you're going to be happy with his work. I have recommended Dale to a lot of people, and you know what the greatest compliment I've ever gotten is thanks for sending Dale. He did a great job for me. Guy's just fantastic. Just not only is a drywaller with DW2 drywalling, but it's just a great person. It doesn't hurt to have him come into Curries either. There's just so many good things about Dale. He's just a great American, and give him a call, DW2 Drywall at 231-679-0475. That's right, 231-679-0475. Dale Whaley is DW2 Drywall. Greatest guy on drywalling end of it.
I'm Seth Wenger from Wenger Insurance. For more than 100 years, we've been providing professional service and competitive insurance to West Michigan. Come visit us on Perry Street in Big Rapids or give us a call at 796-0778. We're here for you now, and we'll be here when you need us most. 796-0778.
A trusted landscape design starts with the right team, and the right team to discuss what can be is Michigan Landscape and Excavate. This team is led by Michigan lifer Jeff Garrett. Jeff has assembled a team that knows that high customer satisfaction is why they stay in business. He requires his team to be the most professional service you've ever worked with for both residential and commercial accounts. Grading and land sculpting, trenching, excavating, septic systems, bulldozing, retaining walls, hydro seeding, seasonal cleanup, one-offs. They're a full-service landscape and excavation contractor. Michigan Landscape and Excavate create complete landscape solutions to be uniquely personal. As they say, now that's magazine-worthy. They're committed to excellence. Text or call 231-349-4667 or email michigan.landscape.excavate@gmail.com.
Where do you go for Michigan's #1 concealed pistol license course? The same place thousands of Michigan residents have over the past 15 years, the Barrington Firearms Training Center. The BFTC conducts state-certified CPL courses right here locally inside the Barrington Conservation Club at 3444 18 Mile Road in Barrington. For just $99, all you need to bring us is your Michigan ID to these all-inclusive one-day CPL courses, which include the use of firearms, ammo, eye and ear protection, coffee and donuts in the morning, and lunch at noon. That's right, just $99 gets you everything needed to take the police department instructed course that includes the training necessary to safely load, unload, handle, and store your firearm. Students will also be trained on when it is legal to defend themselves with a firearm under Michigan's Stand Your Ground law and Castle Doctrine. Call 231-250-7257 or go online at michigancpltraining.com to register for one of their upcoming $99 all-inclusive CPL courses. Get armed, get trained at the Barrington Firearms Training Center.
A little early to say WVZX Big Rapids may have to break in about 5 minutes. But
Okay,
it's
Bobby, good to see you back.
WVZX Big
How was
Rapids.
your Florida trip?
It was not as warm as it could be.
Well, it was nice though, eh? Did you drive or fly?
Flew down there.
Yeah?
Yeah. So.
Did you get caught in an elevator or anything?
Nope, nothing.
No?
No, very
So,
uneventful.
Where'd you go down to Villages?
No, I actually went down to St. Petersburg.
Oh.
Yeah.
You were at a lot of restaurants.
You went to the Village
Bob.
People concert.
No.
He was at a lot of restaurants, Pat. I saw him on Facebook.
Yeah,
A lot of restaurants.
Some nice with Brian Holmes, who
Yep.
from behind
yeah?
it. Yep.
Right here.
Yep.
Did you eat a lot?
Yeah.
Fish? A lot of fish?
Some fish.
No meat, I hope.
Yes, I had.
Go to Florida, you eat fish.
Well, both.
Oh.
You know.
All right.
But I went to a seafood place, was good. Went to sushi place, was good. Went to Italian steakhouse, it was excellent.
So. Yeah, well, real quick, thanks, Bob, for capping off.
Okay, I'm going to shut up now.
We just want to, no, don't have to shut up. I just want to mention one more time here. This week, Randy Vetter is recuperating. He really wants to thank everybody for all the prayers. I think I got him about ready to go to church. Not quite there yet.
He was in this morning, Pat, just when we were leaving.
Yeah, and he's looking good. His black hair turned gray. I think he looks more distinguished now, don't you?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and he's walking better.
Yeah.
Yep, I think they did a nice job on him. But anyway, keep him in your prayers. Like I said earlier, Marv Snavely, he's about ready to go to the other side there, and he's.
When you're ready, but you never know when you're ready.
Are you ready, Pete?
I'm not ready, and I hope I got 2 more years on the school board.
Oh, Lord.
And, and I'll tell you something. Sheriff Brian Miller was on the school board. He would have been president this year, but instead they have me.
Well, talking about school board, we got a student here. I think you're a junior, Libbie?
Yes.
Libbie Tacia's here with us. And, time flies by, folks. That's why I say you don't really have time to hate anybody, man. Just forgive and love. Because it seems like it was yesterday she was on talking about our issues that we have going on in America today. And along with us, we got the firearms and safety guy here, Casey Nemeth, and our famous legendary sheriff, Brian Miller, with us to talk about an issue that is pretty important to most of us, really is. I mean, especially being a grandpa that I am, the worst thing you ever want is to have somebody call you and say that your grandson or granddaughter has been picked up by a
pedophile.
Whatever. Well, not so much pedophile, but they're,
Trafficker, I think.
Yeah. I just can't believe
and you might say, by the way, Casey is Undersheriff along with Brian Miller, who's sheriff.
I think most of our listeners know that, don't they, Casey, by now?
I think they do.
You really have gotten involved on a lot of things, Casey, and you guys have really made a big difference in the 4 years you've been at, you've only been there a couple of years, but Brian.
Well, he was there a couple of years, gone for a year, came back.
Right. Yep. But you guys are really doing a nice job for us, I mean, you won overwhelmingly, and people say Brian did a great job campaigning, but I think you were a big part of his votes, too.
I hope so.
Well, you were. A lot of people like you and Brian, and a great team, but enough of that puffing. Anyway, you guys are pretty concerned about what's going on. I think I'll let you start the program off, Case.
Well, what we've got, Sheriff Miller and myself, a few years back, we met with Genesee County, and they had their own, what they call a ghost team, and they basically set up stings with their surrounding counties, posing as online children, and these guys would come up and make contact with them online, and we watched their program, and they basically set up a standard that we went with, so we took it on ourselves. Sheriff Miller this is one of his big, it's one of Brian's big items out there that we do, and we've got a team up here, so it's us, Newaygo County, Osceola County, Macomb County. Sometimes we get Isabella's involved, City Big Rapids, Ferris, basically all these local units, and we have this team that about every 3 or 4 months, about every 3-4 times a year, we go to different areas of the Tri-County area, and we set up these stings, and it's something that we've. I think the sheriff knows what was our total for so far.
We were at 23, I believe, before the last one.
Right.
And then I think we got one at the last one that we did, which was here locally in Rogers Heights.
Yep.
That was back in October, I believe.
Yeah, we got two in Rogers Heights. One time over in Isabella, we got 8. We got 8 guys.
What do they say, Casey, when you pick them up? What's the first thing that come out of their mouths?
Well, when we use all kinds of sites that people realize, but there's unfortunately when you get online, there's so many bad things. Yeah. Great information online, internet's an awesome source, but there's also, like anything else, there's always the other half, the other side. Yeah. And so when we get on these sites and we put out start chatting and doing these things, and you're amazed at the amount of people looking for that kind of thing.
How old are they looking at?
Anywhere, that's anywhere from 10 to 13 years old is what we usually run. And
even in adults, we'll do adults ones, and they're looking to go away with me for the weekend, go here, go there. We'll pick you up, those kinds of things. And some of them are just trying to come and meet up, but the other ones, so that, we know that what they're up to.
Well, this last one we had actually came up from the Grand Rapids area. And how old did he think the female was, Casey?
I believe he thought she was 12.
12, and that he was going to take her with him back down to Grand Rapids. That was his intentions.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, I guess the reason why we're here, it's January is National Human Trafficking Awareness Month, and it's still one of the biggest crimes. I mean, it's in the top 1 or 2 crimes that we have in, worldwide right now. And, we have the, I guess, underage human trafficking aspect, sexual aspect of human trafficking, but there's a lot of other variations in that. You got the, people that are doing it for employment purposes, maybe paying off debts. So they're, a lot of, I guess, Chinese nail parlors, things along those lines. It's just a nationwide problem. And Michigan's up in the top. At one point, we were number 2 in the country. I don't know if we're quite there anymore. I think we're still in the top 10.
Yeah, still in the top 5 even.
Yeah. I think we've dropped a bit, but not enough. And the reason why is because I think, we border Canada, and some of those other things are some of the reasons why I think Michigan is where we sit.
Gosh, I got so many questions. Like, this might be a dumb one, but they actually take them and they use them for slave work?
Well, that's a lot of them come from other countries, and that's kind of a thing where they're almost indentured, like the old style where we'll bring you here, but you owe us this. You come here, and unfortunately, what I would imagine is, you're going to do some work. You're going to be working in this restaurant. You're going to be working here doing this, but while you're at it, let's have some other activities, which would be the criminal sexual activities. Unfortunately, I think those go hand in hand. When they get brought for work, I think they're also probably getting the other part of it as well.
And the intention of some of these people that are brought over isn't always, I think they're manipulated, especially the young kids, girls. They're made to feel like, they want me to be a model. I'm going to get into the modeling thing. They get them on board with these predetermined notions, and then they maybe get them hooked on drugs. And then because they're hooked on drugs, they continue to manipulate and use them that way. But before we get going too far, the reason we're here is because of Libbie. So I'll let Libbie speak to why she's here and what her, foundation is for what she's doing.
Yeah.
So I'm Libbie, and I compete in the Miss America opportunity, which is a scholarship pageant. And through that, you are to have a service initiative, which can be anything from any social issues you're concerned about, anything you want to bring to people's attention. And I started competing when I was 13, and I chose, thanks to my mom and dad's help, human trafficking, because at the time, I really had no idea what it was. And after so much research, so much work, I got to know what it really was, thanks to the help of Sheriff Miller especially. And the thing that's really great is that the target audience for human trafficking is teenage girls. That is the biggest group that gets human trafficked. And so having that as my service initiative in the Miss America opportunity, I'm able to reach thousands of girls that are the prime target audience of traffickers and teach them how to protect themselves.
How do you?
Lots of different ways. Well, one of the biggest ones is definitely social media. A lot of people think social media is the enemy, which it can be, because that is where a lot of people are human trafficked. But I'm able to reach tens of thousands on social media and share safety tips, things like that. Also opportunities like these, radio interview series, lots of interviews, and even just being at other pageants, talking to the other girls. We all speak about our service initiatives. We all teach each other so many things, and I think it's definitely helped save lives.
Libbie, do you go to the schools?
Yes, that's another big thing. I've been to 40-ish classrooms just in the last couple of years. And I talk about internet safety because that's the biggest thing that ties into human trafficking. And a lot of the students I talk to are elementary or middle school students, so it can be a very uncomfortable subject to talk about. So being able to do it by talking about internet safety, being able to tell them how to protect themselves online from these predators, teaches them from such a young age how they can stay safe from human trafficking.
See, I'm in to let Pac talk.
No, go ahead.
I'm kind of a sheltered person, and I don't know a thing about what's going on because I think everything is fine in this world.
That's how a lot of people think.
We think that everything's rosy, and I try to treat my kids what to do and what not to do. And I know as a young man, I was tried to be picked up one time, and a guy said he and his wife, they wanted me to show me the bushes, and I said, okay, I'll go down and look at the bushes. And I was only probably 8 or 9 years old, and I really didn't know any better. So this information you guys are giving, to like St. Mary's, to St. Peter's, to the Crossroads, to our elementary schools, to our middle schools, to our high schools, I think this is very important. If you get them all in the gym, and I know this could happen, we'd get them all in the gym where you guys could speak. And just like you're doing now, if we could get everybody in Cardinal Hall or we can make this happen, I think.
I agree.
If you want to do this.
We recently did something similar with like school shooting safety, where we had we all went in the auditorium and got basically trained on how to protect yourself from that. So I think doing something similar with human trafficking would be very beneficial.
What I think is important is the education aspect, social media, if you're not supervising your kids somewhat, it's very easy for them to be manipulated. And a lot of times what these predators are looking for, or maybe girls, but a lot of occasions boys too, in broken homes, maybe not the best living situation. As a result, maybe they don't have the confidence or carry themselves like they could. And so what these predators do is they take advantage of those situations and they groom, just like predators or pedophiles have done for years. They groom these kids over a time, and then take advantage of those shortcomings and lack of confidence that these kids might have, and do that. I've had a couple cases through the years. One in particular, a guy, we had a young lady that we were investigating. She was having underage sex with a male here locally. So we got her phone. No sooner do we get into her phone that I find that she's been communicating with some guy from the state of Washington. And looking, I had her phone, and she had plans to meet up with this guy. This guy was on his way to Michigan, and when we got her phone, she wasn't communicating with him anymore. He began, bad-mouthing her and this and that, and had gotten to North Dakota and turned around and went back. But because of that, we contacted the Internet Crimes Against Children through Washington. It just so happens the detective I talked to already knew this guy because he investigated him once before through the local police or sheriff's office that he worked. We got charges against the guy, and I guess being the kind of guy he is, last fall I was at football practice for my young son, and I got a call from the detective saying, hey, this guy was supposed to be sentenced here a couple days ago, didn't show up. We went to his house and he had hung himself. So we've had a lot of cases.
Case closed.
Right. So it's you talked about being rosy. Okay, it's a good world. I'm a positive person, but I'm also real. You can't be blind either. You got to go into the world, be positive about things, but understand that there's that segment of the population that isn't so good, and you just got to protect yourself.
Brian, you got 2 boys going to St. Mary's, and you got a wife. I can't believe this is happening. Could you actually believe before you were a policeman this would be happening here in Big Rapids?
Like Casey, I mean, before I got into law enforcement, I always wanted to be in law enforcement before I got into it. If you would have told me the sky was green, I'd be like, yeah, it's green. Now I question everything and anything about what's going on around me. But that's the thing is with Casey and I, we're both detectives for a long time, and
there's no surprises out there.
No, you become quite jaded. But again, it's a good world, but you just got to protect yourself.
So you guys are doing a great job on that, catching them. Penalties. What kind of penalties are they getting? Are they going to get some years out of it, or are they just?
Well, normally what happens on that, it's just like any other crime, Pat. When they go by what was all done, what they said, what they did, what they wanted to do. They also look at what they've done before. Just like if this is your first house breaking into, or is it your 10th house you broke into? If they get penalized through a system through the state of Michigan where they almost like a chart. This falls in, this falls in, this falls in. So these guys are getting a felony on their record. They're getting arrested for accosting a child for immoral purposes, and then also using a computer crimes, using a computer for a crime felony. So each individual person, it goes by their record and the prosecuting agency area that we're in. Sometimes we're in Montcalm County, sometimes we're in Mecosta, Osceola. That prosecutor picks and chooses what they're going to be penalized with.
Success on the program, Libbie, how do you see that? It's been successful, you getting out there and making awareness. You ever had any kids come up to you and say, thanks to you, I didn't fall for that guy or whatever?
Absolutely. One of the other great things I was able to do was create a bulletin board in my school that had things like National Human Trafficking Hotline, some prevention tips, some facts, statistics, and I actually had multiple people come up and tell me that they didn't even know what it was and how much that helped them. I was also able to send out a survey to my whole school back my freshman year, and one of the first questions was, do you know what human trafficking is? And over 50% of the answers were no. So that was really eye-opening to me, and that's why I did end up creating the bulletin board, which has been really great in my own school. And also, I've been able to go around speaking to so many other schools, and so many children have said that it has really helped them. And that's something I'm really grateful to have done.
Yeah, so you get a lot of support from all the schools. Everybody's pretty much aware of that, Casey? And the schools, the administrators, they kind of look out for them,
Yeah, we've got, with having the SRD, the school resource deputies in the schools, and hopefully we're going to get some more coming up. They get a lot of tips. They hear this and they hear that, and we try to get that announced. Brian's, like I said, this is one of his big, when we have a meeting on this, we get pretty razzed up about it. It's something we take a lot of pride in, how good we're doing with it. And with the schools having that information out, with information like Libbie put out, the kids know.
Don't they know the consequences? And you guys are watching now. Don't you think that would deter a lot of them, or do you think it is working? Do you think it's deterring them?
I'll let Casey speak to that.
Well, what I think about this is what's going on, Pat. Is there's groups out here too. Not only is our group like the police group that are doing this. That catch a criminal, that guy, they've got that. Well, now there's got groups out there that they're doing the same thing. They're online chatting, and they're getting these guys to come in, and they're not calling the police. They're beating the heck out of them.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, they're taking pictures of them, beating them up, putting them on Facebook, and saying, hey, this guy just tried to come and see a 13-year-old girl, da-da-da-da-da. Wow. So that's kind of not really helped our stats as much, but these guys can't help themselves, is what it is when they get offered this or they get enticed to it, it's not just teenage girls. We've got young boys with the male on male. The male on male sites are just as active or more than the regular ones, and they cannot handle themselves. It's almost urges that they and it's evident with what they send back and forth.
They feed off each other.
Yeah,
they do. Pedophiles, they feed off each other. They know each other, who's who. And
when you get into the dark web things and you get into those chat rooms, you've got to vet those guys for like months and months, because you can't just go on the web and say, can I get a kid to steal? they've got to actually go and you've got to get vetted. You go into these groups and chit chat about all kinds of things, and then you kind of get pushed off into a private chat area, and that's when you start talking about buying. There's everything from buying babies to buying kids to take, and it's just a horrible area to get into. But you can't just go on and get that. You gotta work. That's like being in a biker gang for a long time. You've got to get into those groups, and they're out there, and that's the scariest part about it is, they're there. Like Pete, we like to live in that world because I'm the same way when I try to live in that world. But you got to remember that behind the shadows, there's a lot going on.
Yeah. Well, Bob, tell us your phone number again here. If somebody wants to call in and ask a question to Libbie or Casey or Brian, there's free.
231-592-1039. 231-592-1039.
Yeah, I forgot.
And this isn't something that's just started, happening. I can tell you this has been going on, since the beginning of time. It's becoming more prevalent and getting more attention, I think, in the last 10 to 15 years than it ever has, partially due to the, internet and the World Wide Web. I first went to human trafficking training when I was detective at the city, probably 12 years ago, and began, getting trained there. And then I guess really kind of what brought it more back to the forefront for me was, as Casey said, back in April of 21, going to new sheriff school. Chris Swanson, the sheriff of Genesee County, had started their human trafficking team and did a presentation on it. I was like, wow, really kind of hit home. And, having a couple kids of my own and realizing that, children are our future and how important they are and whatever we can do to protect them. I came back and, Casey was the detective at the time and kind of brought it to him. And then the relationship that we already had in place with some of the other sheriffs surrounding us, we decided to, do something on our own and brought Genesee up, who, like Casey said, trained us for the first one back in July of 21. We did it during Fair Week, if I'm not mistaken, right, Case?
Yeah, I believe so.
And then, we've how many we've done since?
We've
13 maybe.
I would think so.
When was the last one you had? Like, is it kind of going down a little bit, being the awareness is out there so well that...
We're not getting the stats we once got, because I think, like anything else, you and I talk about work stuff.
Right.
I think bad guys talk about bad stuff too. So they're aware, but again, you're going to get the bad ones because they just can't resist it.
This isn't blowing smoke, and I don't mean this. I mean this very sincerely. You, Brian Miller, and you, Casey, are out and about. I was told it last week that Brian Miller probably was the most visible sheriff we've ever had, and you, Casey, are the same way. And we were very fortunate. The other guy, well, I'm not going to say other guys sat in their office a lot, but you guys are out and about, and you know what's going on. It's just like what happened last week. It's you guys are on top of everything, and I'm just proud we got you two guys with our county, and I'm proud of this guy. He kind of announced at my house, I think, and he's just been a wonderful role model for, I think, the community.
Would you get a ticket this last week?
No,
I mean, there's got to be a motive for him sucking up now.
He's blowing smoke, isn't he?
Yeah. He got pulled over for speeding again on M20 in McCosta County.
He's the guy driving my car.
Yeah, right.
Well, I saw you guys come in on two wheels.
Yeah.
He's got a motive there.
I'm just kidding.
Pete, it's funny you talked about that. We just had this conversation last week. Brian was in my office. Our offices share a closet, so we're always looking at each other from a long way. But we walk back and forth between both. He comes in, and then we're talking about the future coming up of positions and detectives and everything. And we were just talking about how we still, as prior detectives, that we're still cops. We're still deputies, really. I mean, he's a sheriff, I'm the undersheriff, but being two detectives that absolutely stepped from detective to administration, we still stick our hands in things and get in there. And I told him how fortunate our department was at this time to have the detectives that we have, and also two guys that can if something happens, we can jump right back into it. And then I said it back in 2020, a long time ago, with the letter that I wrote for him when he was going to be sheriff. I said, there's just nobody better. And coming from a guy that I'm supposed to be the best one I know, to say that he's better, it bothers me. But
yeah, you're honest.
Yeah, I'm honest, because he's it's just like that, Pete. Where it's easy for us to jump right into
I
it.
would just say that Mecosta County is very
all enough.
Well,
all right, now
so it's
enough
not
of
just
that.
us, though.
But I do have a question for you guys, and this is a political one.
Hey, Pat.
You got a new commission now.
Yes.
I know you guys did okay with the old commission, but how's that going to change your office, the new commission? You got 4 new ones in there, and you're smiling right now. I know you're not afraid to speak your mind, because when Brian was running, you said some things out there that probably gained a lot of support for him. That being said, what's it looking like?
I'll let the sheriff say this one. I get fired up about it. I know you get excited, but I'll let Brian.
Then Libbie, I'm going to get back to you too. So
I'll have the sheriff do the toned down version.
Are we excited? Yes. Are we looking for handouts? No. We want to make sure that everything we are getting, we are earning. I've never had a problem working with others. Never.
No, I know you haven't.
Part of the reason I am where I am today is because of my ability to work with others, detectives, otherwise. And so, were things difficult at times? Yes. Are we looking forward to the future and the relationship? Because I don't think we as a county can fully prosper until there's some kind of a union. Not everybody's going to agree on everything at all times, but we can't work against each other either.
Yeah, and I don't see you guys doing that now. I went to your
swearing in oath of office.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes,
Swearing
sir.
in. I was pretty impressed with Amy.
Judge Clapp.
Yeah, what her words were about you and stuff, and that was pretty good. But I see a real correlation between your guys' thinking caps. I mean, you guys get along pretty good with the judges, I take it, right? So that helps.
Well, a lot of respect.
Is there a lot of interaction with the judges?
No, but there really shouldn't be because of where we sit and where they sit, but there's a lot of respect.
Yeah.
I mean, Amy was a prosecutor for a long time. We worked together. I think our mindset is very much the same. I look at Judge Jackalovic. Back in the day, we all used to run together in our younger days, and there's still a lot of respect there for him. If there's 2 people right there that if things are going to be done the right way, it's those 2. And Judge Boer, although we maybe haven't had the relationship, I have a lot of respect for her. And Judge Thompson, I never had the opportunity to work with him, but again, they're in that position for a reason, and I think we're all better for it.
Success rate on catching these guys. We'll go back to the human trafficking. You guys are doing a great job on that, I imagine. But what do you think? The success rate is as good as you think it should be?
This is one of those things that if you don't get anybody, you're almost happy because you try, and you found out that there's, maybe they're not out there that night. And so you almost feel good if you don't get one. But the ones that we do get, don't get me wrong, when we get a bunch, we're happy. It's like catching fish. As deputies, we want it. We want success. We like it. We try to get as many as we can. But what's better about it, Pat, is when you bring them in and you do the interviews and you get the information, you have the text messages, you have the phone conversations, and the success rate of prosecution is 100%. We have not, out of our group, there's not one that's been dismissed or out. We've convicted all of them.
Do they turn in other people that they know to you, or would they do that?
No, they're in denial through the whole thing. They're just trying to make it go away. I mean, if we've had them, we had a rep from a local business, not owned locally, but a business in the county area that he was a rep, that was traveling. He brought his work car. We've had a couple work cars that we've confiscated. We've got
we got a teacher from Hart
Yep.
Soccer coach
Boy, better not be Big
in Newaygo
Rapids.
County.
Yeah,
in Newaygo
we've
County,
had-
that was roughly a year and a half ago.
Wow.
Yep. So,
So
we,
do you
I
think
mean,
it's
it's
deteriorating or not? Do you think it's kind of slowing down?
You mean
where
deterring?
They know the law's watching, or
yeah, I think so. Just from the mere numbers that we're getting, I think, and like I said, then you've got the other groups out there that are, and you'll hear that in our text messages. You'll hear the people say, "Are you? I'm worried that you're going to beat me." They're worried about what might happen because they've seen on TV. As I said, the social media is a great resource, and as Libbie can get that information out is so awesome. But it's also reveals the speak and the talk between those guys that they're seeing our results as well. So it is a little bit.
well, for you folks just listening, we got Casey Nemeth here, Undersheriff from Acosta County, and we got Sheriff Miller here and Libbie Tacia. Libbie's been advocate of this how many years now?
I've been competing for 4 years, so.
How did you pick that?
Well, at first, I was not sure what I wanted to do for my service initiative, but my mom and dad brought up this issue to me that I wasn't really aware about, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a chance, see what I can kind of figure out. And my first year competing, I never won a title, and I think that's truly because I really did not even understand what it was. So after that year, I really started digging deeper into it, and now I feel like my whole brain is filled with everything I could know, even though there's always more to learn. So just being able to grow every year and learn more and more about this and share it with even more people is really special.
How did your mom and dad even think about it? I mean, it's just something that everyday person out there wouldn't really. How was their awareness?
Yeah, that's exactly the thing. Throughout, there's thousands of girls that compete in the Miss America organization, and I've still yet to find anyone with the service initiative like this. So I think that's what was really special when my parents were thinking about issues, was finding something that a lot of people don't know about, people haven't used. So I think that's how they came up with it, and I'm really grateful that they shared that with me, and I was able to learn how to protect myself too.
Libbie, what do you want to do when you graduate?
I want to go to college and hopefully be on dance team. I'm a competitive dancer, so hopefully college dance team, and also get my degree in business and be a financial advisor and take over my dad's business. Yeah.
Well, I'll put more money in that.
Thanks. Yay. Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to take over.
One of his customers.
That's awesome. I'm sure he loves that.
But I thought maybe you might want to pursue what you're doing now for the, into
that's really something, even if it's not a part of my profession, is definitely something I'll never give up. I love being able to work with law enforcement. That's something I'll always continue to do, always advocating for this, teaching my kids one day about it, their friends, everything. So even if it has nothing to do with my profession, it's definitely something I'll never give up, especially since I am able to compete until I'm around 28 years old. So it's something that can stay with me for a long time.
One thing Libbie brought up, and I think maybe you did too, Pete, about an assembly of sorts or presentation. I'm very big on, it's great we can get up there and talk about it. Casey, myself, our detectives that have taken part, Mike Moore, Joe Marshall, and Libbie can get up and talk. But I've always been very big on, let's hear it from the mouth of somebody. We can get up and talk about that and try to educate, but I don't truly think you get a sense of things until you hear it from the mouth of somebody that has been trafficked.
Yes.
And if we could do that, I'd be all on board, because I think that educational aspect, and there may need to be a waiver that goes home with the kids for their parents to sign beforehand, because as bad as you think it is, you don't know until you hear it from that person.
That's so true, and that's also why I have planning soon an interview with a survivor of human trafficking. Her name is Tiffany Dion. She's amazing, has wrote multiple books, speaks at so many events, and I'm hoping to do an interview with her in the next couple months and share that with everyone, because that is truly, like Sheriff Miller said, the most eye-opening part.
Have you talked to any kids out to high school that have been tried to be enticed into it?
Yeah, even just some of my friends, we all have received messages
Really?
Yes, 100%. Instagram DMs, TikTok messages from adults, we'd love to meet up with you, like we'll pay you this much, and it is truly disgusting. So being able to educate my peers and educate children about the importance of blocking these people, reporting these people, so that this crime can continue to stop is so important.
So are they reporting them?
Absolutely.
Oh, they are. Good. Yeah. So
And recently we had a young girl here
Yes.
that,
Yeah.
you know, got online with a guy, and he, again, I don't know what it is about the state of Washington, but came from the state of Washington and, you know, took her back with him, and we had to, and, you know, Detective Marshall did a great job on it, investigating it, and law enforcement there found her, you know, with him, and we had to, you know, bring her back.
Yeah, and
So-
she's in Maddie's grade. Like, think.
Really?
Yeah.
7th
Maddie
grade?
and Tori's grade, yep.
That's what's sad. You got grandkids now, and so do I. I tell you what, I talk to Maddie and Kay about it all the time. I just stay off that social media stuff, and they do so far, but we all are on it.
Yeah,
so
and
we're
even
all
when I go
gonna
into
be
classrooms,
vulnerable.
like sometimes I'm talking to first graders, like, oh, I have Instagram and all this, and I'm just like, even if your parents like are allowing them to have it, a lot of times they don't know the safety precautions that need to be taken. So that is the most important part to me, is being able to educate these kids about how to stay safe online, because a lot of times their parents don't teach them, or even if they do, kids don't want to listen to their parents. So when I'm able to go in, read a fun rhyming book called Webster's Friend, and just answer all their questions, I think that really is eye-opening for them.
How do you find time to do all this? Because you're a
I know.
dancer, and how many days a week do you go dancing? Isn't that
Like
Grand
five.
Rapids?
5 in Grand Rapids.
Grand
So,
Rapids in
yeah.
the evenings, obviously. You're a junior in high school now?
Yeah.
So then when do you have time to
Right.
talk about this
Yeah, sometimes.
disease, you might call it?
Yeah, sometimes I will just take a day off school, make a whole day out of it, visit like 10 classrooms in a day. But also, the great thing about what I do in school is I do dual enrollment, so that means I take online college classes. So right now, I only have to go to school for 3 out of the 5 hours of the day. So during those other 2 free hours, I really like to take advantage of that time too. Like, for example, right now, if we actually had school, I wouldn't be missing class right now because of my dual enrollment classes. So that's something I definitely take advantage of to get into these schools and educate people.
But there was a lot of work that she's done to put herself in this spot too, from educational and otherwise.
Well, you got good parents, huh?
Yes, amazing.
Yeah, what do you think of, jumping off subject for a minute, Donald Trump as our new 47th? What do you think of that?
That's great. I'm excited for the new era of the United States. I'm excited to see what will happen.
What do you think's going to happen?
Oh gosh, well I
don't mean to put you on the spot. but-
first of all, we got TikTok back, so
Yeah.
that's exciting for me.
Yeah, you think TikTok's good, eh?
Yeah, I do. That's actually where I have a pretty good following on TikTok on my Miss America page, so I get a lot of traction there as well. And I actually see a lot of other creators on TikTok posting about human trafficking awareness and things as well. So that's really great. Yeah, I think TikTok's great for reasons such as those. But I'm excited for just my parents to be less stressed. Prosperity, I'm excited.
Yeah, so your dad's pretty excited, eh?
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are. I feel sorry for the ones that aren't, but oh well, right, Kate?
So yesterday-
Oh well.
we got-
we got a caller or two.
Yeah, we have a phone call. So let's
It's
take
probably Bob Aldrich from WBZS. Welcome.
WBZX, B1039, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Curry. It's me, Chris Long.
Oh my Lord.
For life of BC.
The ladies' man. Huh?
You brought
Go
him
ahead,
the
the
T
ladies'
word, and
man.
you know he's going to be right there.
I suppose you're in a pub in New York City right now, coming back from Washington.
Yes. Oh, what a glorious day in America we live in.
Yeah. Well, yes, you were out there, eh?
Yep.
What,
yes,
did
been
you
out
talk
here
to
since
Don?
Saturday.
Go ahead. You got
say
a
again?
couple minutes. Tell us about your experience.
Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. Saturday we had a Michigan gala with all the everybody who went to the Michigan gala at the American History Museum. That was great. A lot of people saw a lot of people I knew.
Start dancing.
And
We got
then, say again?
Hello? Pete's over here looking at my phone as his is playing a song to him. He doesn't know it's his phone. He's looking at everybody else. But you got to remember, he's 87 going on 88. So, you know.
Oh, Pete's there, too. Hello, Pete.
Hello, Chris Long. I love you, buddy, and I'm so proud of you that you are representing Mecosta County in the Donald Trump era. And make sure you say hi to Don and Donald and tell him we really appreciate that he runs. His speech was really good yesterday, by the way.
Agreed.
But thank you for calling in. Are you listening to us now live?
Well, let him talk.
I'm hearing on the through the phone. I can't. The station doesn't come to Washington. Sorry.
So what's it like today after?
The day after,
yeah, what's it like?
Magically all the cars appear and people are walking around for the last 3 days. The only people I've really seen was the protesters that were down the road, and then the Trump supporters down near the certain areas. But now it seems like life's back in the normal BC of people walking around. My hotel's over by Georgetown University, so there's a bunch of university kids now that just appeared.
How were they?
Oh, got to check out now. Oh, got to go. Bye-bye.
See you, buddy. Love you.
Bye-bye.
That was good.
Hey, Casey, I want to just ask one question.
Yeah, go ahead. One question.
How important are your liaison officers at the school?
Why don't we take a break? He can answer that.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a good one because I think we got, Casey can really run with that.
Can we take a break, though, and just acknowledge our sponsors? Bob, go ahead, and then we'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll take another break here.
Thank
We'll be back with more.
Donut time. My ears are...
He doesn't have donuts.
Pennzoil in Big Rapids is your quick-stop shop for oil changes and so much more. With certified techs and 35 years experience, they'll have you in and out in a flash. And a free car wash with every service. And don't forget about tires. As quickly as the seasons change in Michigan, it's easy to lose your grip. Luckily, Pennzoil in Big Rapids has the tires you need to dominate all seasons in Michigan. Big tires, fast tires, grippy tires, sleek tires. Go see Zach Wells at Big Rapids Pennzoil today. He'll get you back on the road and ready to roll. That's Big Rapids Pennzoil, located at 710 North State Street, or give them a call at 231-796-4730.
Gilbert's Carpex Plus, color time. Stop and shop with us for a while.
This is Amy.
And this is Corinne
from Gilbert's Carpets Plus Color Tile. Upgrade your windows and save on energy costs at Gilbert's Carpets Plus. We have an offer you won't want to miss. From now to January 31st, get your first 3 windows installed free with any purchase of Draper, Hunter Douglas, or Graber custom shades.
Whether you're looking for energy-efficient designs or simply a stylish upgrade, our custom shades will help you save on heating and cooling costs all year long. And with our expert installation, your new windows will fit perfectly and look amazing.
Don't wait. This special offer ends January 31st. Visit Gilbert's Carpets Plus at 14150 Northland Drive in Big Rapids or call 231-796-2700 to get started today and get your first 3 windows installed free.
Gilbert's Carpets Plus, where beauty, comfort, and savings come together.
Gilbert's Carpex Plus, color time. Stop and shop with us for a while. Gilbert's is there for you.
Dale, I've known for many, many years, and I tell you what, when somebody needs some help, he's there. Just like your typical Mecosta County resident, Dale Whaley is a good American. So if you're ever looking for a drywaller for free estimate, call Dale. I'm telling you, you're going to be happy with his work. I have recommended Dale to a lot of people, and you know what the greatest compliment I've ever gotten is thanks for sending Dale. He did a great job for me. Guy's just fantastic. Just not only is a drywaller, but DW2 drywalling, but just a great person. It doesn't hurt to have him come into Curries either. There's just so many good things about Dale. He's just a great American, and give him a call, DW2 Drywall at 231-679-0475. That's right, 231-679-0475. Dale Whaley is DW2 Drywall. Greatest guy on drywalling end of it.
I'm Seth Wenger from Wenger Insurance. For more than 100 years, we've been providing professional service and competitive insurance to West Michigan. Come visit us on Perry Street in Big Rapids or give us a call at 796-0778. We're here for you now, and we'll be here when you need us most. 796-0778.
A trusted landscape design starts with the right team, and the right team to discuss what can be is Michigan Landscape and Excavate. This team is led by Michigan lifer Jeff Garrett. Jeff has assembled a team that knows that high customer satisfaction is why they stay in business. He requires his team to be the most professional service you've ever worked with for both residential and commercial accounts. Grading and land sculpting, trenching, excavating, septic systems, bulldozing, retaining walls, hydro seeding, seasonal cleanup, one-offs. They're a full-service landscape and excavation contractor. Michigan Landscape and Excavate create complete landscape solutions to be uniquely personal. As they say, now that's magazine-worthy. They're committed to excellence. Text or call 231-349-4667 or email michigan.landscape.excavate@gmail.com.
Where do you go for Michigan's #1 concealed pistol license course? The same place thousands of Michigan residents have over the past 15 years, the Barrington Firearms Training Center. The BFTC conducts state-certified CPL courses right here locally inside the Barrington Conservation Club at 3444 18 Mile Road in Barrington. For just $99, all you need to bring us is your Michigan ID to these all-inclusive one-day CPL courses, which include the use of firearms, ammo, eye and ear protection, coffee and donuts in the morning, and lunch at noon. That's right, just $99 gets you everything needed to take the police department instructed course that includes the training necessary to safely load, unload, handle, and store your firearm. Students will also be trained on when it is legal to defend themselves with a firearm under Michigan's Stand Your Ground law and Castle Doctrine. Call 231-250-7257 or go online at michigancpltraining.com to register for one of their upcoming $99 all-inclusive CPL courses. Get armed, get trained at the Barrington Firearms Training Center.
All right, and we're back at 8 before 10 o'clock.
You know what? Behind every good kid, there's got to be a mother and her dad, right? Right?
Yep,
I mean, you look at, we've all been pretty successful here. Brian's still in the making with his two because they're still in high school. We don't know about Cooper yet, but I love the guy to death. Cameron, you got two great boys, Brian. You know that.
What are we doing?
But we're going to take your chair. No, I want Mrs. Tacia to come here, Tracy, for a minute and explain to the public how she got this girl to do what she's doing. And what it takes is pretty simple to be a successful parent. My wife's one of them. I don't take too much credit for my three kids, but when I hear, boy, your boys are great guys, you know, your daughter Abby's a great girl and this and that, I said, you know what, that's pretty nice of you to say that, but I really think my wife had a big part of making that happen. But Libbie, you're just a wonderful young lady. You've done a great job so far, and you're, what, 16?
Yes, I'm about to be 17.
I know your mother and dad have made it possible for you to do the things you've done financially, but I've seen a lot of spoiled brats. Obviously, you're not one of them. That mom and dad's done it all for them financially, but you're pretty appreciative of what you've got so far in your life. And I know your younger sister there plays ball with Maddie.
Yep.
And she looks like she's going to turn out pretty good too.
I think so.
Yeah, you're humbled for what you have. But Trace, what is it? What do you think it is to make a family like you've made? You're very successful. You know, I know it's not about money, but money helps. It alleviates a lot of the problems to do things. But your daughter, you got to be very proud of her, eh?
Super proud.
So you're with her how many hours a day?
Well, I'm her chauffeur.
Right.
I mean, she can drive, but a lot of times she has to do homework and do her social media posts, so she does it in the cars. We drive back and forth to Grand Rapids, and a lot of long drives to competitions for dance. So we have a lot of time together. And
Are you living a dream right now?
I am.
Yeah. What was your dream before her?
Oh.
What was it? What did you see yourself 20, 30 years ago?
You know, I thought I'd be some big corporate executive. I was like hungry in the business world, and I climbed the corporate ladder in insurance for 20 years. And then I met my husband and had kids. And then I'm like, oh, I really just want to be a mom.
Wow. Where are you from?
I'm from the Detroit area.
From Detroit area.
Yeah.
So you come to Our little town of Big
Yeah, all
Rapids,
because of
RFD.
Tom. It's and it's funny because sometimes if you grow up here, you're like, oh, I got to get out of here.
Right.
But I think that's a shame because I love Big Rapids. We love raising our kids here. We love this community. So,
What is it that you love the most, you think?
I think just the small knit community and everybody knows everybody. Everybody has each other's back. I feel protected here. I feel safe here. I just think, and we're only an hour from Grand Rapids if you need the city life. So I think it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So what part of Detroit? In the northern?
No, East Side, Fraser.
Oh, okay.
Graduated from Fraser High School.
Okay.
Just a
and
few
so-
years ago.
So you went from there to college. Where'd you go to college?
Wayne State in Detroit.
What did your mom and dad do down there?
My dad was a sales executive.
Okay.
My mom was a stay-at-home mom. So I got the sales part from my dad, but it's funny because now I don't like to talk to people. So
You're doing a
no,
good job.
I'm
How
not like
about
my husband. So
siblings, how many?
I have 3 sisters.
Okay, and they're all down there yet?
They're
or
all
they-
down there. Yeah.
Yeah. They ever look at you and say, "Gosh, you got the best of both worlds"?
Well, I think they think I did okay.
I think they're a
they
little
think
jealous.
I don't know if I could live in a small town because they're city girls, but
Right.
they know it suits me and they know I'm happy and that we have a good thing going.
We still visit a lot.
Where'd you meet Tom at?
John and Stacy Chapin introduced us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's why I moved here because Tom's from Big Rapids.
Mm-hmm.
And we grew up with a cottage in Canadian Lakes from the time I was a little kid.
Oh, okay.
And so through coming up here, I ended up meeting friends. And then when I was an adult, Stacy introduced us.
How'd you meet Stacy?
How did I meet Stacy?
Bar? I mean, that's where most people
No,
across county
after
meet
I
each other.
graduated from Wayne State, I moved up to Canadian Lakes with my dad. He retired in Canadian Lakes, and then I was young and single, and Stacy was doing real estate at C21 out in Canadian Lakes, and that's where I think I met her.
Yeah. So you've had a great time. You've got 2 lovely little daughters.
Yes.
Both of them are taking different directions. One's going to be the sports star in volleyball and basketball, I take it, because she's got a great shot. I've watched her in both.
We just got
sports.
back from Columbus late last night because she had her first tournament.
And volleyball or basketball?
Volleyball.
Is
Yeah.
that her going to be her number one sport?
I think
eh?
so. So
Yeah.
basketball starts Wednesday. Tom's coaching her, but I don't think she's that excited.
She's got a pretty good shot. But
She's
real
going to do
quick,
it to keep Dad happy.
Is she going to stay in Big Rapids volleyball, or is it somebody with her talent? They go into a special team.
Yeah, she's on a club team.
She is on a
in
club
Grand
team.
Rapids.
She is? Yeah.
I mean,
So when it comes to high school time.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll do both school and club.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want her in Big Rapids. With talent like that, we could do really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's the secret? What do you think the secret is of getting your kid to do what she's doing right now? Is it love, or is it discipline, or
I think it's
both?
for sure. I think, we have a strong family unit. I think her going to St. Mary's was huge, and the discipline
Definitely.
and the respect that's demanded. I don't think it's a bad thing. So we have 2 pretty driven kids.
Yeah.
I attribute a lot of it to that.
Pretty much over now, isn't it? As far as the setting the stage, what they are.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it
This
continues,
level,
but those
yeah.
young years are the important years.
Yeah. Pretty happy, huh?
Yes.
I think they learn by example.
What grade is your younger daughter in?
7th grade.
So she'll be going to the high school probably in 2 more years.
Yep, 9th grade. She'll be at Big
So
Rapids.
we really like to push St. Mary's too, but we're very happy with.
Well, St. Mary's is Big
Well,
Rapids.
Big Rapids public schools are amazing. We're
Thank you.
very blessed to
Oh,
be here.
Thank you. But I did want to ask Brian. He was going to give
Yeah,
me
go
an
ahead.
example
Yeah.
about the liaison officers.
Yeah.
Come on over here. Say your mom.
Well, I guess, I've been passionate about a lot of things. I got into police work to be a detective and did that for 14 years. But 7 years, probably the best 7 years of my almost 30-year career in law enforcement was doing the school liaison for the city of Big Rapids. That kind of became a hot topic after Columbine in April of '99. I was the first school liaison. At the time it was called liaison, now they call it resource officer, for our area. I worked in the Big Rapids schools. I would go out to the high school a little bit because the county at that time had a liaison too, and we'd work collaboratively out there. but then at the time I was also in St. Mary's quite a bit. Crossroads was a lot larger back then. So I'd be in all those schools, and I put everything I could into it. At the time I was fortunate. I was single, no kids. So that was my life. And I look back, and I've said this a lot, and I'll continue to say it. In our profession, it's not very often where you can go home at the end of the day and feel like you made a positive impact in somebody's life. And when you were that school resource deputy, you go home and know that you did that. And we're fortunate with who we have in the schools with Jason Lisinski. You talk about Casey and I being involved in the community. You're not going to find anyone any more involved than Jason too. Jason puts in, I bet you, if between schools and the coaching and everything, he probably puts in 60 hours a week. Only gets paid for 40 to 40 some, but it's a 24/7, 365 job to him. And because of who he is and what he's done for Chippewa Hills and Big Rapids High School, and not only that, he and the city resource officer, Andre Torres, will work hand in hand a lot of times, especially with alert training or active shooter things. They'll do presentations for the schools. We're fortunate to be where we are today. We have some things that we're looking towards in the future. Things we need to bring to the board, opportunity that we have. And Casey and I, and Jason for that matter, are very excited about it. Having that person that is that go-between between the schools and law enforcement, you can't put a price on it. The safety, but more importantly, not more importantly, but I think not just the safety aspect, but the mentoring and relationships that he has built with students. Again, you can't put a price on it. Again, that was something when I took office that is very important to me is our children. I look back and I wouldn't trade anything with what I did in that position, and having Jason being able to, Jason is going to be Deputy Jason for the next 30 years. Jason will retire, and he's always going to be Deputy Jason, and that's where you made that mark. Again, I'm going to speak personally. After I became detective, I had, and I've said this before, I had 2 or 3 people that were students of mine. One I coached in basketball, another one I was close to, that came forward about being molested by family members. And they came to me because of that trust and relationship that we had built in the past when I was in the schools. And that doesn't happen without that. And Jason is, seeing a lot of the same things. So I'll let maybe Casey talk a little bit further.
Casey, before you do, just to clarify, we are no further than 3 minutes away from any law enforcement, any of our schools. I'm talking about St. Mary's, I'm talking about Crossroads, I'm talking about St. Peter's, I'm talking about all our schools, 3 minutes from some law enforcement. And we did have an active shooter drill. And I think that within, I'm just going to say, I think within a minute someone was there. So, we are so very proud of you guys, Big Rapids Police Department, Ferris Security.
Ferris Police.
Yeah, we're so proud of all you guys that it's a little bit of incredible. So thank you.
Well, and I used an example. We had a bank robbery here back in, 17 or 18, I don't remember. And I said this a bunch. I was in my office talking with one of our officers when the call came over the radio, and we both looked at each other, boom, both ran out. Within 2 minutes, we had that area saturated. There was a trooper coming down Madison. There was Sergeant Scott Ruggles at the time coming around the area. We had that area saturated. Did we get him right then? No. But, we eventually got him. And
24 hours.
Yeah, within 24 hours. And just to see that quick, the saturation. Now, Chip Hills, Morley Stanwood, maybe a little bit different. More so Chip Hills and Morley Stanwood, especially now with Isabella County losing their road patrol. In the past, we may have been able to have assistance from them because of the proximity to Isabella County with their intermediate and high school, and Barreton for that matter. But that's a little different there, So, for them to have somebody around more often would be important. We still have the state police, but again, they're kind of burdened right now too with everything that they have to do to make up for the loss in Isabella County.
Well, getting pretty close to 10 o'clock, and we're going to have to leave this program. But Pete, if you'd be quiet for a minute. No. Before we leave, this town is very good at sporting baseball, basketball, football. Whenever little kids have a card, everybody gets online. Yeah, I'll take two. Well, we got something special coming up for the Little League Baseball. I'm going to let Casey talk about it. It's going to be a gun raffle. You're all familiar with the weekly gun raffle, and I think it's going to go off the lotto number maybe. How's that going to work?
Yeah, any 502c or any nonprofit organization. The Moose 705 out of Reed City is doing one right now. We've had the Barreton Firefighters, the Barreton Community Firefighters Associations do one. We had the Eagles do one. We've had what it is. It's a month of guns. It's a ticket that they're going to sell. The Little League's getting their lotto license right now. It's a ticket you buy. You buy it for $25, and that puts you in 33 different drawings. I believe it's going to be all of May. Every day they give away a gun, and all it is based on the evening 3 of Michigan Lotto. So those 3 digits. So there was only 1,000 tickets sold, and you get let's say you have ticket number 345. If number 345 comes in, you win that gun that day, but you're in it for the whole month. So it's basically 70 some cents a day maybe to be in a month of drawings. And if you're one up or one down, if you're 344 or 347, if you're on one up, you win $10. So you're within a distance, so you've got a chance of winning. But what they do is what the best part about this the raffle is the overall cost. It usually brings in about $10,000 for that group through this raffle. That's the norm. If all the tickets get sold, once they get this going, you can go on my website at michigancpltraining.com. We actually do them online. I always take 10% of their tickets, and I sell 100 for them at least, and we sell them online, so you don't even have to come find anybody. You can actually get it emailed to you, your ticket number, and that's coming up. They'll be getting their license up, and that's for the Big Rapids Little League, and that's going to be for the month of May. But they'll start selling them April and March, so it's going to start selling probably pretty soon, maybe even in February. They'll get them out, get them sold, and then the whole month of May.
Do they take credit cards, Casey?
Absolutely, I do over the phone.
I'll take one right now.
Yeah, I'll
can't get it right now.
Can't get it right now?
But I can get you. As soon as I get the tickets, Pete, you and I'll we'll beat up.
Casey.
Don't let him be the first one to buy, though.
No.
You let me be the first one to buy.
And if I could piggyback on that, Pat, tomorrow morning for our Curries Hot Stove League, we'll have Dan Decatur from Big Rapids Little League on as our person tomorrow, and maybe somebody else, but we'll talk about the Little League because they have registration open right now.
How did they get that? Did they come to you on that?
Yeah, we did a couple guns for them, Lakeside and in the Big Barreton Farms. We did a couple guns 2 years in a row where they would just one night event. They would auction them off at their yearly pre-meeting or whatever to get some funding for the Little League. But once they found out we were doing this, this is going to help all the kids that maybe don't have glove money. Maybe they need batting helmets, bats, umpire fees, all those things that are going to help generate those funds for Big and Little League. And Brian and I both know that was a huge thing when we were kids. From age 8 to 12, that Little League that before you went into Pony or the other league, kids always remember that.
Now, do you think that, like right now, after last night's speech online, there was a lot of guns online for sale. Do you think this is going to deter gun sales since Trump won?
I don't think so. I think people are
the world's
understanding
going to be
this.
so much safer, you know. We're not going to need the guns.
I'm sure there's something.
Bob's over there shaking his head.
Something will come up and make people fearful of something. But
there you go.
people realize that it's not all about for protection too. They are, but there's just a sporting. It's a sport thing, and it's a collection, guys.
Right.
Guys
So what kind of guns? Just real quick. What kind of are they going to be? Rifles, shotguns?
Usually there's 20 long guns, a mixture of shotguns and rifles, and there'll be 10 pistols. And it's real simple. You just come once you win it, you get a hold of us, and you come do a regular transfer. So you learn how to buy one. It's all you have to pass a background check and do everything else. It's just like you're buying one from a store, but it's you don't have to bring any money. So
yeah. Pay tax on it though, or no?
It's all included in the
wow,
the price.
really?
Yep.
Good.
Nope,
That's
it's
good.
all free. Yep.
Yeah, and then of course the nice thing about it, going over to Barrington Firearm to get it, they can take a class too if they wanted to.
All that information is sent to them. So if they did get something like a handgun they wanted, that kind of goes hand in hand for the training.
Yeah.
Regardless, the training is most important.
And how often is the training over there?
We do it once a month. It's we pick on one weekend a month that we do a Saturday and Sunday. Saturday for the church guys and Sunday for the guys that got to work on Saturdays. So we do both days.
So what? Real quick, we got 2 minutes. Training. What do you teach them in training?
Well, when you start off at it's an 8-hour class for the state of Michigan. It's required that you're there for 8 hours. The first thing you're going to learn is like basically unloading, loading, safe handling, safe storage, all the moves you need to do to run a semi-automatic and the 5 moves for the revolver to be safe with them. Once you do that, we also teach you the stand your ground law of Michigan. That means what happens on the street and sidewalks. When can you defend yourself? And then you can also the castle doctrine, which is what do I do in my house? If somebody breaks in, what are my rights and how do I protect myself there? And then there's actually a written test that's about the stuff that we've talked about. It's a safety class. It's basically the knowledge of being able to handle them and to store them, to how to properly load and unload and be safe around them. And then the actual shooting portion, they're going to actually shoot. And what the best part is they get a choice of 80 different training guns to pick and choose. You're not stuck with Uncle Steve's big gun. You get actually like every kind you can look at. So
if a guy has a CPL now and you're carrying a gun, do you take it to the class? Can you take it to the class?
Yeah, you can bring your own.
The reason I say that is, Casey, do you think it's important to have a refresher after so many years? You know, like a driver's license, you got to do it every 4 years. Do you think it's beneficial?
It's required by law to renew your license after 5 years, but it's like anything else: bowling, golf, pool, whatever skilled sport you're playing. If you don't get out there and do it, you're gonna forget it. So it's best to stay on top of that. What's fortunate is the book that we provide that you take home with you. It's like a big boy menu. It's got lots of pictures, and it's got all what your hands are doing, and you can take that, open it up, and actually go through your training again without even having to take a class. That's the book we set up for them.
But see, the reason I say that is because there's some people out there that have a license, and it is available for them to take the class again then, to refresh.
Yeah, people want, in our website, in our paperwork, if, like Pat, you've taken my class.
Right.
If Pat wants to come back and take a whole nother class, since you're a prior student, it's half price. So you can come back as many times as you want for half price.
Heather's talked about doing that.
Yes. I am too. I'm thinking about it because it's been quite a few years.
Yes.
That I've taken it.
And you get all the free guns, you get all that free food. I got
free food.
You know how that is.
Bob, did you have a CPL?
Bob could come out and just get the pizza.
Right. There you go.
Yeah, I come for the food.
Of course, you're more of a
WBZ.
You know better pizza though. You're a pizza. Yeah. You know good pizza. So I'd have to probably.
Hey, I'd like to thank Mrs. Tacia for bringing the donuts.
Yeah, that was very kind of her from Jack's Bakery.
Yep, and I hope.
How did that settle with you? Good?
I don't know, Pat. I'll know in about 10 minutes.
Okay, because he's getting weak there.
WBZX Big Rapid.
Yeah. Thanks, Bob.
I would like to thank Libbie for coming on.
Thank you so much for being here. And
Libbie coming on. Thank you, Pat and Pete, for allowing Libbie and Casey and I to do so. And again, January's National Human Trafficking Awareness Month. And if you could just maybe keep that in mind, continue to educate your young ones, and we'll do the same with the public.
Yep. And if you have any information, if you get a text, or if you think your child is being trafficked or something suspicious, make sure you contact our department. McCosker County Sheriff's Office will get you set up with a detective. We'll take a look at it, no matter how serious or not, you think it is. It always starts that way. And it's 231-592-0150 is the sheriff's office number.
And then one last thing, Libby. We have quite a listening area outside of Big Rapids here, and say there's a school out there, a homeschool or whatever. You're willing to do that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and how would they get a hold of you?
You can reach out to my phone number, 231-408-8423, or you can reach out to me on Instagram at Miss Saginaw County's Teen MI or at Block the Traffic.
Or Tom Tacey
Or you
Financial.
you can look up
Let's give
Tacey
Tom
Wealth
Tacey-
Management and give them a call.
I interrupted. Just say that again. So a little plug for Dad.
Tacey Wealth Management. You can give them a call. Get a hold of
Downtown
me
Big
too.
Rapids. And their phone number is?
I don't know, but you can find
Okay,
it.
there you go. God bless you. God bless America. Thank you, Libby.
Thank you.
Thanks, Case. Bye.
Curries Corner.
Brought to you by Big Rapids Pennzoil and Auto Repair, Seth Winger at the Winger Insurance Agency, Gilbert's Carpets plus Color Tile, Barreton Firearms and Training Center, DW2 Drywall, and Michigan Landscape and Excavate.